Look at this. I've got a Hall age pass so that I can get in there. I am honored. I am excited. I am so nervous. Right? Do these glasses make me look not nervous? Because it doesn't make me feel any less nervous. Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a while, right? It's been a minute. So it's already been a whole week since San Diego Comic-Con 2022 has wrapped up, and it was quite the experience for me. So this was the return to San Diego Comic-Con as an in-person event. It's been 3 years. We missed 2 San Diego Comic-Cons in between there. So this was our first time going back to the show. And I'll be honest, I was nervous about the entire experience. Just because things have changed so much. The world has changed. YouTube has changed. The way toy news is delivered has changed. And I honestly just didn't really know what to expect going in. I didn't know if this was going to be the same as it once was. I didn't know if it was going to pick back up and be the way it used to be. I didn't know if people would still care, honestly, that I delivered interviews and coverage and everything from the show floor the same way. So it was really kind of a big if going into this. However, going into this show, I also was extended an opportunity, and I knew that it was something that I didn't want to miss out on. As this is the 40th anniversary of Masters of the Universe, my all-time favorite toy brand. Mattel and the team were putting on a big celebration panel at San Diego Comic-Con, and they extended the invitation for me to be a part of this panel because I am now a published author for the brand, but also as somebody who's sort of been like the fan outreach for the brand. And I thought that was such a really cool opportunity that I didn't want to miss out on it. So when they first extended it, of course I said yes. And that was before any of the details were revealed to me. So if you guys aren't aware how this whole thing went, we're going to talk about it today. That's really what I want the focus of this video to be about, is my experience with the 40th anniversary of Masters of the Universe panel at San Diego Comic-Con. So after this whole thing was extended to me and I accepted it, that is when I found out that this would be a Hall H panel. Now, if you are not familiar at all with Comic-Con, Hall H isn't just a normal panel room. And typically the toy companies are in just the regular sized panel rooms in the convention center. Hall H is like the big auditorium where all the big panels happen at the show. So anytime like Marvel Studios is there, or any of the, TV shows, or anybody that do these big panels, it's always in Hall H. Hall H isn't just a normal panel room. It's a big auditorium. I think it seats 4,000 people in the audience, and there's a stage with like a giant screen, and it's a big production. There's a green room. There's cameras filming you. It's insane. So to find out that Masters of the Universe was in Hall H, and that I got to be on stage in Hall H, was mind-blowing. I've never even set foot in Hall H, okay? Because it's like impossible to get in there. If you guys don't know, people will line up in a line that extends outside of the convention center, and they will be out there all night, overnight, hoping to get into Hall H the next day. I've never been in there. So my first time in there is up on this stage, which is such an honor. And then I find out some of the panelists. So the whole point of this panel is to sort of have different representations over the 40 years of Masters of the Universe from the different forms of media and such. So, it's myself there, but, we've also got folks from Mattel are there. Kevin Smith is the moderator. And then I find out that Alan Oppenheimer is supposed to be part of it. Now, unfortunately, he ended up not being able to make it out to San Diego, so he did like a video message beforehand. And Alan's amazing. I've had the honor of meeting him a few times. He's fantastic. Voice of Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, so many other characters in the original series, of course. Then I find out, I get to sit up there with folks like Dolph Lundgren, which totally blew my mind. So I knew about that going in, but I didn't know exactly how this whole thing was really going to go, because I knew that there were going to be other people on this panel that they didn't even tell me about ahead of time. And they had always said from the beginning that there was going to be one surprise person on the panel, but they didn't tell any of us who the surprise person was. So I had that going into it. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit just about my experiences. Now, the panel itself, I didn't film it because you're not supposed to film in Hall H, so it's not like something I could just set up and record. I know that Comic-Con filmed it because I had to sign like a release form and everything. Honestly, I don't know what Comic-Con does with the Hall H stuff when they film it. I think it was available online somewhere because several folks have mentioned watching it and a lot of people reached out to me. But honestly, I don't know where it's at after the fact. I don't know if it's going to be put up. I hope it does. What I did do is, obviously I've got a ton of photos and I do have some behind the scenes video clips that I filmed. So let's go ahead and just jump into those right now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it all. Oh my God, what's happening?
Okay, man. Now this is a guy that I met for the first time at PowerCon 3 years ago in the before times and shit like that. And I remember so I finally got to see him the first time since I met him. Give a warm welcome to the host of the popular Pixel Dan YouTube channel and co-author of the Toys of the Abandoned Masters.
That's me.
Pixel Dan.
By the power of Great Skull, I have the power!
I can't believe this.
Kevin, that was an amazing experience, and I want to thank you so much for that, because holy cow,
as you
man.
can see, I was prepared to take a photo.
I know.
Pixel Dan,
I know,
so
and then I
was
just shoved the
this.
camera in your
And then
face.
all of a sudden he was talking at me, and I'm like, wait, this is one of those moving photos,
Yeah.
like in the Harry Potter
The
movies.
moving pictures.
Yes. How awesome was that? I thought you did very well.
Thank you.
And I thought, and that sounds condescending, like I thought you did very well. You know how to perform in public. But how nice, like, did you get the impression that there was a large percentage of that room that was for you, not
It
just
was,
like, we all like MOTU, but literally like Pixel Dan fans.
It was, I mean,
He
hearing
did.
people
Look at him.
react,
Look at he's
oh
trying
my
to play it
God,
coy.
no.
But I saw him. I saw the table
I got
rise.
emotional, man. I just
that was beautiful.
I
I was like,
couldn't hold it in.
I'm a tear horse, so I was like, lean into that, brother, lean in, and it was perfect.
Man, it's been a whole week, and I've got to be honest, I'm still like coming down from this entire experience, because it was one of the absolute coolest things that I got to do. I mean, sitting up on that stage and getting to tell my story, you know, I got to talk about the process of making the toys of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which I've talked about many times before, but I will continue to sing the praises of every single person who helped me assemble that book. You know, I couldn't have done it without everybody who helped with that book, and sitting on stage and talking about the experience of traveling around and meeting so many fans and seeing their collections and photographing everything was amazing. But not only that, I got to talk about like my personal experience with this brand. And this was a part where like I actually got choked up on stage. And let me tell you, man, when I was backstage before the panel even started, they played like the big hype video for the whole thing to start, you know, and it's doing this whole showing clips of all the different things from He-Man over the 40th anniversary. And And it was just like this amazing thing. And I'm sitting backstage and I'm already getting choked up. I'm already getting choked up just because I'm like so emotional about this whole thing. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to not cry when I'm sitting up there. And sure enough, like the second question that Kevin Smith throws my way is asking about my personal experiences, my personal journey with Masters of the Universe. And so I immediately, they put up a big picture of me on the screen as a kid playing with my action figures in my front yard, one of my favorite pictures from my childhood. And I immediately started talking about my mom, my amazing mom, who I've had on this channel before, talking about various experiences with me as a kid with these toys, right? And I talked about how she used to make friends with retail workers so she knew when trucks were coming, so she knew when the new He-Man figures would be stocked, so she can bring them home to me. And you know how she took me to the movies to see Dolph Lundgren, who I'm now sitting on stage with. She took me to see that movie when I was a kid, and I'm just sitting there and I'm talking about this and I'm getting choked up, and you know, Kevin yells, "No, lean into it, man." And of course that makes it worse, and I'm just getting emotional. And it was awesome. You know, it was really cool to get to like share that personal story with that massive audience out there. It was just awesome. Now, here's the funny little tidbit about this whole thing. This is almost kind of embarrassing. So backstage after the entire thing, after we're done, and I'm kind of chit-chatting there backstage, and I was talking to Kevin Smith. Actually, we were shooting a video together. And as we were talking about it, we were talking about how I got emotional and how he thought that was amazing to see my passion. And then he just kind of bursts out and he's like, "Wait, is your mom still alive?" So just watch this clip.
Tina, I'm so sorry. For the last 40 minutes, I've been working under the assumption that you'd pass. Now it's a nice story.
Yeah, it is wonderful.
So wait, if she's not passed, why are we crying? Just out of sentimentality?
Yeah, the sentimentality. I said I wish she was here at the show with us.
That's even better. That's nice. So you're not waiting to give her flowers afterwards. You're like, I wish she was here right now.
That's right.
And she's alive. That's the most important part of that story.
Oh my God. Now I feel bad. I feel like I didn't mean to give that impression.
I was literally getting ready to spill all the secrets of the next season because I was like, I feel bad for this boy. This poor boy lost his mom. She's alive and well. Well, I'm glad, Tina.
Yeah.
We're all glad.
Apparently me getting emotional, the way I was talking about it, I gave the impression that my mom had passed away, and I actually felt really, really bad about that because my mom is still very much around. She was watching my kids while I was there. But one of the things I said while I was talking is I said, I wish she's here right now to see this, meaning I wish she was at Comic-Con watching it, not. So I felt actually very embarrassed because I didn't mean to give that impression at all. So if any of you watched that and got that impression, I am sorry. That is not the impression I meant to give. I was just really emotional in the moment. And yeah, that was something. I'm embarrassed. I really am. Man, looking back on the entire thing, it was such a cool experience. You know, like Dolph Lundgren was such a nice guy. I got to take a photo with him, and that's like one of those things that's like, man, that's so cool, you know. I'll cherish that moment for a long time. You know, Stephen Root was there. He's done voices and lots of things, including Masters of the Universe, of course, the newest stuff, Revelations. But like, man, he's been in so much stuff that we've watched over the years, right? Dodgeball and Office Space and lots of different cameo appearances here and there and lots of voices here and there. He was amazing. Tiffany Smith was there as well. She's fantastic. William Shatner was the big surprise, which blew my mind. Like when he ran out on stage, I legitimately had no idea that was going to happen. So that was kind of an amazing moment.
No, that's not a yell. That's not a yell. Let me hear you yell.
Am I saying the line?
No.
I'm passing you the microphone.
Oh!
Look, you ready? You will have the honor of directing him in a minute, baby.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm friggin' up there with He-Man and Captain Kirk. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, how did I get here? Like, what is this? how am I on stage with these people? Life is pretty cool sometimes. And thinking about just the amazing experience that I had on this whole thing, and you know, I asked the question, like, how did I get here? And it's surreal, and it's hard to believe, but I know how I got here. And it's because of you guys, man. Every single one of you. I have so many people that I'm so thankful for. You know, like it's crazy to think about just how one day I decided to turn on a camcorder in my bedroom, in my apartment that I shared with friends, and decided to talk about He-Man toys. And this is where I am now. You know, having the experiences that I've had in the past couple years, getting to write for the brand, getting to make an appearance like this at Comic-Con, getting to meet icons in the business is something that I am so thankful for, and I will forever be grateful to every single one of you and every single person who has been there to help me, to support me, to lift me up through all of these years. It's been awesome. And I know that, you know, like, they brought me in as somebody to represent the fan side of this brand, but I know that there are so many of you out there who are doing this right alongside me. I am not alone in this, and so many people came before me and are doing it right alongside me, and I'm grateful for every single one of them. I could sit here and name names all day. I mean, gosh, there's so many people who are doing this that have helped me out so much. Val Staples, Emiliano Santalucia, Eamon O'Donoghue, Penny Dreadful, Daniel Benedict, James Edock, Matt Tyree, Adam from Battle Ram blog. See, I can just sit here and I can keep naming names, but I'm afraid that I will forget somebody. If I'm not naming you by name, please don't take it personally, because every single one of you means something to this legacy, and you all mean something to me. And that goes for every single one of you out there. Everybody that helped me with the book, everybody whose house I visited, every single person who helped me with writing, with going over everything in the book to make sure it was as accurate as we could get it. You know, every single one of you who have watched, who have subscribed, who have liked my posts, who support me on Patreon, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Because this is something that I will cherish forever. You know, there's been so many versions of Masters of the Universe over the years, and there's things that people like, there's things that people don't like. And at the end of the day, those things that we don't really love about this don't matter so much, because this community, the memories that we're making and the fun that we're having, that's what's going to matter at the end of the day. And that these memories that you guys have given me are something that I will forever cherish. Thank you guys so much, and good journey, my friends.